What's up, all the people out there on the other side of the bodies and wicks? Anyways, it's Ted here, and my headphones are way loud. Okay. Anyway, of course, I did Bitcoin earlier. That was this morning. I've just been looking at all kinds of crypto charts all day. Um, and it's just been a couple messed up weeks. And so I just thought Ethereum, we need to get back to that because a lot has changed since we looked at that one too. Um, and we can also incorporate what happened within synthetics, that lesson with this. As well as I thought I'd incorporate a kind of a lesson on futures, in case you're here collecting crypto. Maybe you're just using Coinbase, something like that, but you have no idea what futures are. So I thought I would bring that to light. That's why the title of it said, I forgot, I said something like synthetics and or a stop hunt and perp. But so we're coming at this from a smart money point of view, which means that we are looking at this as if we were the people that could push the algorithm around, because that's what this is. This is an algorithm, right? So we don't believe in any trend lines, any channels, any kind of geometrical shapes, triangles, harmonics, none of that stuff. All that stuff is just distraction to keep you away from what really is. And what really is prices ran by an algorithm that is to seek out liquidity, meaning to hit targets to open up or flood the market with money orders, so that the rich can take them. In the most simplistic form I think I can put it, I think that's it. All right. So, and I mean, if you're one of those people that, retail theory works for you, and, if double tops and, you sell on a triple top and it works, good for you. We're not gonna think like that. We're gonna think the triple top is gonna be a false kind of sell. And it'll probably break out to the top. And sorry, I'm looking at something really closely because I'm actually in a trade right now, which is another reason why I wanted to bring in the futures idea, because I am in a futures trade. But as far as retail theory goes, no, we don't do anything like that. So if that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for, you know, and unfortunately, we're liquidity based. We look for liquidity, and we look for that in the market. We look for where the market is probably going to go to get to that liquidity. And once it gets there, where is it going to go to next? There's also a couple other things baked into the charts, some things I'll show you here in just a second. Um, but there's a lot going on underneath the scenes that you may not realize. And it's a little, it can be a little tough to navigate, but it's fun. Once you get the hang of it, it's fun, and you really enjoy being a technical analyst. So without further ado, I did bring back the old video because I kind of had to watch it myself. And oops, let me see here, realize where we were, and I kind of got that part out of it. I listened to a little bit, kind of found out where we were, and then now I'll put us where we are. Oops, not there, here. So whenever we left off, I'm on the 1 hour, all right? And I think we were somewhere in this direction. I think it had already hit this 4 hour fair value gap. And then from that point on, it was just downward spiral. And I'm going to get myself off of the screen here so you guys can enjoy everything without me in the way. I'm also going to be looking at my phone screen every now and then, or I may be switching back and forth to the KuCoin screen if this screen will ever actually show up, but it's not been showing up for some reason. So I should be trading off this screen, but I'm not. Anyways, so as you can see, after we hit this 4 hour fair value gap, after that day, it just went south. There was no stopping anything. I had all these markings marked out. We had the bullish order block that we could have drawn out into the future, right? Let me take these off. Bullish order block drawn out into the future. I mean, and I guess it bounced off of it. And I guess it would have gave you a little bit, you know, it would have gave you a good scalp, but it's definitely, or it definitely didn't do anything to turn a direction or, you know, change the trajectory of the path of where this trade was going. And like I moved about 2.5% or so. So not too bad, but you know, could have been a lot better. Here we have another, I think this is 1 hour gap, right? Is that what the 1 hour gap was? Inside center. I have no idea. I guess this is a 1 hour gap. Okay, I'm doing really good. This is awesome. Okay, it's this one that's the 1 hour gap. So we're going to go inside. That way we know that one is the 1 hour. But this one also is the 1 hour. I see it now. And all of these, and this is the bullish order block. Not really much of an order block as much as it was some volume that probably could have helped out. Try to change the trajectory. Nothing. Went right through it. Well, it stopped at it a little bit below it, came above it, and then went down. So, and then here it looks like we had another order block. So that would have been last down candle before the up move here. That is on the 1 hour. I am actually going to move this down to the body. And that's just kind of in a consolidation phase too. So those things can help out. And it looks like this one did. But it still didn't change the trajectory. Let me make sure I got the coordinates correct. Sorry, I am OCD like this. I gotta make sure like everything is like right on this spot. So that would have been a nice play off of, because there was that order block that was untouched before the massive jump up. If you could have placed a limit order on that, you probably have made some decent moves, especially if you're doing some leverage trading. There you go, 6.5% from Ethereum. Not bad at all. That'd have been a decent move. As you can see, whenever it came up, the question is where did it stop and why did it stop? Right? So that's another thing we have to ask ourselves. And one of the answers I can give you is this right here. This actually would constitute as a breaker, right? So you have the lower high, the low, the higher high, right? And then so as this comes down, this goes right through it, comes back up, tests it, so that technically makes it a breaker because it tests it. So that would have reached from the green bar all the way over. Look at that. Look how perfect that was with that one red candle. So this here is your breaker. All right. Looks like everything was good there. I'm just going to go ahead and write breaker on it so I don't forget, if I can spell it correctly and not do that. Move it over here. So it's all right. OCD. Okay, checking my thing. Okay, I'm still doing okay on my trade. All right, so now that you see these, whenever you see something like this, almost like an M shape, right? Think about that middle M. You got to think about what's happening with that, because if the outer part of it is going straight through it, coming back up it and testing it, that is the breaker, and you should see a bigger fall off after that, in which we do. We see a huge fall off after that. And now we come down to the weekly fair value gap. Now, I thought that in my other video, there was another value gap underneath the weekly, but I am not finding it right now. Not for sure what it was, or but I think on that other one, we did have those two order blocks marked out. See, we have these two order blocks marked out. So if we go back to here and we pull those order blocks in the future, they were weekly order blocks, mind you. Now, we wouldn't have hit this one because we had already made the first video at this point. But if you would have remembered from the synthetics video how to catch the stop hunts, you would have caught that one, because we had the order blocks already drawn in advance, right? This was a stop hunt. We went and drew the stop hunt in advance, found out it came and hit this one, found another order block. That's when it hit this one. So this one came back, rallied back up. Let's see where it came to. I want to say it was probably on the 4 hour. It probably hit a fair value gap. No, it didn't. So we still have an open fair value gap. From here to here. And I don't know if I should put them together, put them as separate, just because there's very little wick in between those two. They should probably be put together. All right, so here we have two. I mean, so this is what you would call sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. I mean, because the name of it is pretty much self-explanatory. So, FEG. And I've realized that I have hit pause a long time ago, and I have no idea what time that was. I do apologize. But I guess I'll try to go back through and see what I may have missed and not incorporated. This is definitely not the DXY. So what we're going to do is we are going to start from scratch here. ETHUSD and Coinbase, and where we were from the previous time. And I shouldn't have it on the 5 minute, probably should have it on the hour. Was that we were up in this area over here. It may have been, let me get rid of that. That doesn't even mean anything. It may have been this area even here. So since then, we have seen nothing but a drive down. You know, we had, again, I don't know if you caught this when I was saying this earlier. Anytime you see something like an M formation, look at that middle part of the M and then just wait to see, especially if it hasn't fully formed yet, to see if it's going to cross. And if it crosses and it comes back up and tests it, then that is your breaker. And this is your new resistance. So right here is your resistance. Of course, as you can see, it came up, hit once, come down, it came back up, hit again, nothing. So then it dropped really hard after that, left, I would say, one big 4 hour fair value gap. And then came down into the weekly fair value gap, pushed itself way down in here. And as I was saying, if you had watched or did watch the synthetics, you know, quick analysis series, we talked about how you can catch, sorry, I'm having to watch this. We're talking about how you can catch the stop runs. So if we had a, you know, if we see this and we know that it was caused by this bullish order block, or at least that's what stopped it, then look for the next bullish order block underneath it, because that's what's probably going to catch the next stop run. and then look for the next bullish order block underneath that, because that's probably what's going to catch the next stop run. And set a limit right along these levels. Give it a good hefty 30-40 pip stop loss. But I would say at least give it a 1-to-1 return, if not a 2-to-1. And hopefully you it happens in your sleep and you just wake up with some money. Right? That's happened to me before. I don't see why it couldn't happen to anybody else. So with this one, it happened at 1709 and it went all the way up to 2022-21. Now that would be an amazing trade to have on your side, right? If you just woke up to that. I mean, look at that. It happened at midnight, I think. Oh no, sorry, 9 a.m. 9 a.m. our time. Uh, Ending a little bit later in the night, but still, it would have been something worth holding on to. And as you can see, whenever this one made its M shape, again, it came down, hit the same order block before it decided to accumulate. And I personally think it's accumulating shorts here. I personally think it's accumulating shorts. Because this right here isn't nothing, especially if it drops a lot. Which everybody's saying Bitcoin is about to drop a lot. I personally also think Bitcoin is about to drop a lot. I'm saying 20K just because there's fair value gaps that right around that area, and I just wish it would get to them, cover them up, so we can just get it out of the way and move on. But I mean, it could be either way here. The interesting thing is how these two formed their breakers. So this one had the M shape here, came down, didn't test it, not yet. Then it went through it, right? Tested it here, and then came back down, tested it here. So we have two tests here, which would bring about two different breakers. So now it's just kind of stuck in the middle. So what I was talking about was, this one is the same kind, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna do ETH perp, and this is where your futures contracts comes in. So your futures contracts, I don't even know which one I picked. I think I picked Binance. We'll find out when I pull it up. Yeah, I think this is it. So now the whole difference between having your own spot trading that you're used to having, if you haven't done any futures trading, is that you're used to either down cost averaging your coins that you like and that you want to keep and that you want to hodl. However, there are going to be times when the market does go sideways, And when the market goes sideways, you have to look out for your own. You can't be loyal to those coins because those coins aren't going to be loyal to you. So therefore, you have to know how to play both sides of the you know, both sides of the ballpark. Not only do you have to hit home runs, but you have to pitch strikeouts too. So that's why I'm teaching you about the ETH perp, or any kind of perp, and you put whatever it is that may have the futures contract in it, and then you go into it's never going to show up, is it? Here, I'm just going to close it out, and I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to hope that it comes up. I just don't understand why it's up on my phone. Everything's going just perfectly fine, but yet nothing is showing up on my computer. So anyways, for this one, like I said, for this M shape here, as it showed up, the bottom of this would be the breaker, right? Because you got your high, your low, your lower high, and then your lower low. And I mean your lower low. Don't worry about this back here. This was a stop hunt. This was just your lower low. So again, now we're waiting for it to come back up and test that. And which we were, looks like multiple times, especially since it's in the middle of a fair value gap. I would have thought it would have tested it by then, but it took some time, and it got up to testing it there, and then coming back and creating another breaker by having more M shape, right? And on the right side, bust down through it, comes up here. Now it is resistance, and then comes down, bust through. Now it is support. And so here, this would act as, this would be an order block, but breakers are the end, I would say the end all be all. You know, whatever price action does with the breaker is going to ultimately probably ends up what happens with price. So if it stays on this side, it'll probably run this bearish order block. However, if it keeps slipping down like it is, then we could see it continue on downward, which I think is what is personally going to happen. I think we're going to see it get below this sell side liquidity. This one here too, it's not too obvious, but it's there. There's a 1 hour fair value gap, and then it might bounce off of that, or maybe, well, yeah, probably that. Somewhere through here it'll bounce off of and start going the other way, and that's where we're going to start seeing the bullishness come back in Ethereum. I don't think we're going to see it come back until then. So if we're going back and forth between both charts, they're very similar, but also very dissimilar. Ooh. And I think the perpetual futures one seems like it may have got a little higher up Let's see what the price is here. 1893 and at that high right there. Let's see what it's like on the other guy over here. Yeah, see, this came all the way up here and would have. Yeah, see, we're at 1862. We're about $30 difference. So we're talking about the future, right? Futures price. Futures price getting down to 1862. Wherever it was. Well, we're below that now. So, yeah, maybe it was kind of similar. But either way, I hope that you did learn something from this video. Let me see if KuCoin is working now. That way I can show you how it... Oh, I think it is working. Futures orders. Like I said, I put it on the lowest order possible. Just for the sake of doing this. I didn't want to risk too much. So it is filled. Part 2 is unfulfilled. So status completed. Finish time 6:27 at midnight 39. What? I'm confused. Contracts, close position, P&L. The time that the position is closed. It shows that it's still open on my phone. Hold on, let me see if I can show you this. Nothing is moving though. But it still shows that there I do have one position open. Hold on, let me get myself back on. All right, I don't know if you can see that I do have one position open at the bottom. I think it's coming from this side is the glare. Yeah, it says entry price 1880 exactly. Minus 0.01 ETH. I'm at 4.484 margin. Not margin. Geez, can't think of the word now. Leverage. Liquidation price would be 2246.60. My stop loss was way before then. That's the thing, is that this thing says profit and loss, and you put it in and you don't know if it's saved or not. There's no way to like save it. But it says position P&L 0.12, 3.32%. And it says margin 3.89, 3.89 realized PNL USD and -1 cent. So I didn't make it past the spread by -1 cent. If it's over, I'm guessing. Which is weird. Because, yeah, nothing's moving or anything. It still says 13% long, 87% short. Here, let me, let's go to assets. Futures. Oh, yeah. I guess it's over. Because I definitely made a little bit of money, and my position margin is up 391, and my unrealized PNL is 0.14. So just giving you some ideas about when the market is sideways. If you don't like hodling, find a coin that maybe you can figure out, especially if you're studying from people, some smart money people that can teach you how to learn, or can teach you how to get on the right side of the trade and make that trade, and know that you are confident in it and you can hold it. And I actually might get back into this because I got in at 1880. There's ETH perp. I got in right here. And the reason I got in right there is because it was right after it came up and hit. And I saw that it was a breaker. So I knew it was going to be breaking lower. So I went short. And then it was just a waiting game. But I don't know why it would have went out. But it did. Anyways, I hope y'all learned something new. I hope y'all saw something that you've never seen, or well, you've probably seen from my videos, but maybe not the whole future stuff. Maybe not some of the, the stop run stuff. So I hope that you were able to catch some of that stuff. If you did, and you did enjoy this lesson, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with your crypto friends that you guys are always talking about crypto with. I've got a whole series dedicated on different assets, talking about how smart money is in control of that chart, and how they're controlling it. They leave hints behind, right? And we've been able to pick up on those hints and kind of figure out where to go from there. Yeah, share this with your friends. Let us know that, or let them know that I'm out here. Ted, Bodies and Wicks, Smart Money. And always remember to keep your pants on.